You are watching UCU Focus TV.
Another warm welcome to our weekly episode of Sports Focus. My name is Ian Asabo, and this show is brought to you by UCU Focus TV. We have a lot to discuss this week, and just before I get right into that, we're going to talk about. I have a special guest in studio with me, and it is only fitting that a college or a university is able to talk about this game because it is where the first origins of the game originated from. In terms of American football, this is a game that is, and he's going to tell us more about the game, but this is a game that has turned into $1 billion business game in the United States, and it has, for a fact, is the most watched match day game or match day revenue in the world. So, Coach, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Could you please tell us your name and then why you're here, basically?
Well, viewers, my name is Banga Shidais. I'm the coach, American football in Uganda. And I'm here purposely to discuss, football with the students and the world out there, the football lovers and everybody who loves football. So I hope you guys, invite, your friends, everyone out there to come and watch the show.
Yeah, thank you. So this is a game that has been intriguing. I started following it with a lot of interest in 2019, and there's a lot more to American football than people just have this assumption for that it is rough, it is boring, as we talked off air and you told me about. Just to peruse through, this game actually had its origins in 1869, where the first game was officially played between Princeton University and Rutgers in New York City. It is a game that comprises of 11 players, with each team comprising of 3 different teams. You have the offensive team, you have the defensive team, and you also have special teams. So, Coach, could you please do a little bit of explaining to what these teams are specifically supposed to do on a football pitch?
Well, I'll start with the offensive team. The offensive team, just like the word offense, your word is, to attack, going for a touchdown.
And how many points does a touchdown bring you then?
The touchdown brings you 6 points.
Yeah.
So the offense is supposed to, advance to the end field for a touchdown.
Yeah.
Then the defense, just like the words. You are supposed to defend the other guys. Then the special team, just like the word. These are the guys who come into, for the kickoff.
Yeah.
These are guys who punt the ball.
Yeah.
And these are players who come in on special occasions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So every player on this pitch is really equally important as the other. So it doesn't really mean that maybe the offense is the most important team, or the defense, or the special team. Yeah. Every team on the pitch serve the same purpose as the other team.
So just to diverge you back to what the offense does, for our viewers, in order for you to score a touchdown, you need to advance the ball to the end zone, as Coach has said. But you get 4 turns, or we have to call them downs, in football, where you get to have 4 turns to be able to progress the ball past 10 yards. If you're to do that within the 4 tries, right, the 4 tries that you're supposed to go through with the ball, then you can then progress. If not, then you're supposed to either return it back through the special teams, as he has mentioned. And so what makes this game quite interesting, in your opinion? Why did you fall in love with the game?
Well, American football is quite interesting. If you look at this sport, this is a sport for everybody. Yeah. People normally think this is a game for the huge guys, the mugged up guys, the tall guys. But to me, it's a universal sport. Yeah. It's a sport that attracts everyone, from the huge guys, the smaller guys, tall, short guys, the weak, the strong, the fast, the weak. Yeah. Because if you look at, for example, the linemen, these are huge guys. All you have to do is to be agile. Yeah. You need to be agile enough to do what you have to do. It's a skill game. Yeah. So when I was young, as a kid, I used to play soccer.
Yeah.
And soccer is basically about, you play with your feet.
Yeah.
But right here, it's a skill game.
Yeah.
All you have to do is do the right thing at the right time. So you notice that it becomes so interesting. First of all, it's challenging because you need to think fast. For example, as a QB, think fast and think right. Yeah, you need to make the right decision. Yeah. You talked about the four downs, the 4 tries. These 4 downs, you try the first time, probably you fail, just like in life. Yeah. You get up, re-strategize, get the second down, second try. You fail. Yeah. This football gives you 4 downs, to keep on trying, keep on advancing. Yeah. There's no other sport that does that in life, like no other sport.
So it's a sport, sorry to cut you short, it's a sport that gives you more opportunities to perform well.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you need you need to think fast because the QB is not going to be running to the coach all the time. Yeah. This QB needs, as a coach, sometimes you need to trust your players. Yeah. Once you're on the pitch, you're representing us, you're representing everybody, so your decisions matter. So the decision that you make as a QB matter to the team, matter to the country if it's the country. So you need to trust your players. So it's a game, it's an intelligent game. So that's why it's that game that if anybody plays that game, it improves on your IQ. Yeah. Your IQ, because basically you have to think fast and think right. Yeah. Yeah.
So just for our viewers, for those who are not familiar with the positions, you kept on mentioning QB. What is it that a QB does, or what is it that a quarterback does? What is his role in the team, and what is he supposed to do to ensure that the team does or is working at its maximum?
All right. So the QB, this is the guy. Most times people think the QB is the captain. Yeah. Yeah, sure. He can be captain. Yeah. But this is a guy, this is a position on the offensive side. Yeah. This is the guy that stands right behind the center because at the line of scrimmage, we have 5 guys. These are called offensive linemen. Yeah. So the guy that stands right behind the center, the guy in the middle of these 5 guys, is the QB, is the quarterback. His role is to receive the ball, probably pass the ball, toss the ball, or throw the ball. Passing the ball, running the ball, whatever he does, yeah? So this guy is the one who calls the plays. He's the one who, in the huddle, he's the one who tells, guys, this is what we're going to do. Yeah. This is what we're going to do, this is what we're going to do. So his role basically is to call the plays. Yeah. And then he has to make sure these plays are executed perfectly. Okay. Yeah, that's his role, basically.
So American football has been known, or actual history tells us that it is a merger of soccer and rugby, as those who have actually viewed the game can actually testify, because in order to kick off the game, you have to kick the football, and then it has a little bit of elements to rugby to it, and these are one of the 2 main sports in Uganda at the moment, because you have a lot of youth supporting rugby as the season goes on, and a lot of football, and football has always been a perennial sport in Uganda. So as a coach, how best are you supposed to change that narrative to the young children that are growing up in, let me say, Kampala, and want to are interested in American football? What is it that will make you, persuade them from the 2 perennial sports?
Basically, American football, actually, for you to play American football, that means you are fit enough to play any kind of sport. Yeah. Because the kind of drills we do in American football, these are some drills done in basketball, rugby, soccer. These are the same drills. Yeah. So a guy who plays American football is actually this kind of player who can, fit anywhere. A rough sport. Guys who play this have to be, huge. Guys have to be strong. Yeah. This is not a fight. When you're playing football, you're not fighting. Yeah. You are playing a game. Yeah. It's a sport. Yeah. So basically, when you're there, like I said, it's a skill game. Yeah. So the guys you see that are pushing themselves, they're not actually pushing themselves. Yeah. These are guys executing their skill for that that position. Yeah. For example, lineman, his role is to block.
Yeah.
So this guy is going to be pushing the other guy, but in a way that doesn't, make him commit a foul.
Yeah.
Because the moment he pushes the guy in a rough way, he's going to commit a foul.
Yeah.
So to the young guys out there, the students, because my narrative or my the way I see this sport, I really, really encourage the youth. I really want the youth to come forward.
Yeah.
So I always advise them to take on the sport. This sport is gonna help you to see life in a different way. Yeah, because there is a way it attracts you to like I said, decision making, confidence, quick decision making, and then everything. So basically, that's what I can say for now.
Yeah, so the NFL, that is the National Football League, the main league the main football league in the United States, has recently had a policy of trying to spread the game, further from the confines of America. They have had games recently, as this season, in Munich, in London, as well as in Mexico City. And back home here in Uganda, we had a game not so far back between Uganda and Kenya at Legends. So, Coach, how did you find that experience of having this game actually in Uganda, and what are the steps you're trying to do as a coach to be able to promote the game more?
Thank you.
Yeah.
First of all, I'll look straight to the camera, and then I would like to, first of all, congratulate all the players. I want to congratulate the the American Football Federation of Uganda, for organizing such a great event, the administration of Mr. Stephen George Okeng, then the players who participated in this very important, game.
Yeah.
This was the very first, contact sport equipment game here in Uganda, for American football. And it was the African Zone Series between Uganda and Kenya. Too bad we lost by 1 touchdown, but to us it was a win, because we had to show the world out there is another sport in the world. Because there is so many people think American football probably is a game for guys abroad, whatever. But then it was actually my very first time to watch this game live by adults, because I've been coaching kids. So when I saw that these adults playing against one another, it was live action. So these guys brought the game home to me. So to me, it was a very interesting experience. And going forward, we don't want the efforts of those young men who participated to be wasted. So we have to make sure that we, bring on more stakeholders, such that we see what to do to develop the game further, and support the administration of Mr. John Stephen Okeng to see how we can develop the sport, more and more and more.
Okay, so, this weekend, on Monday, Ugandan time, around 2:30, we have the biggest game in American football between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. Patrick Mahomes of the Chiefs and Jalen Hurts of the Philadelphia Eagles lead their teams into battle in Glendale, Arizona. Coach, we're all big fans of American football and NFL. Who do you think is going to edge it? Because, trust me, both teams, the Eagles have the best defense in the NFL, and the Chiefs have Mahomes, possibly the best offensive player in the NFL. So where do you think this is going to go?
I'll tell you one thing about football. Football is so interesting. There is nothing like this is the best. Football is a mind game. The moment you go on that pitch, we've been so surprised by so many teams out there in the NFL that have defeated the strong teams that you're talking about. For example, the Eagles, and then you say, these guys, how comes they did this? They're beating these guys. It's a mind game. I would say the guys who work harder, the guys who look at their opponents and then they plan better, these are the guys who are going to excel. I don't have a favorite of those two teams. Actually, I would say I would just want to see what are they going to do to win, because both teams are really, really good. But I just want to see how best are they going to execute their plays, how best are they going to be able to beat their opponents to their plays. Because, like you said, the other one is the best at defending. So if you're good at defending, but then these guys probably, they know that better because they've been playing the same league that you're playing. So probably they have to reorganize themselves better. So you talked about the Super Bowl. I'll also take that opportunity because you've been. I remember there's a time you asked me about the Super Bowl. Is there any plan for the Super Bowl in Uganda?
There's always a watch party. That is a festival in itself.
Sure. So, before even I joined football, I used to see so many people talking about the Super Bowl. So right now there's a Super Bowl, and here I am, and people asking me about it, if there is anything going on. Yeah, the federation is trying to organize something very good with the management of Nexus. We hope it works out, and then everybody out there, the football lovers, can come to watch the game together, and also get a chance to meet and greet with the players, probably with the American football love.
This has been Mpanga Shudais, the head coach of the Uganda American football team. Thank you for coming on the show, and hopefully this won't be the last time that you appear on the show, because as a host, I personally invested in this game. It's a game that has really changed my opinion on sport, and hopefully that you can also be interested in watching the game, because it is, as you said, it is more about the tactics than more about the physicality of the game. So as we head into this commercial break, thank you again for joining us, and hopefully you can do it next time.
You're welcome, and less wise.
Okay.
You are watching UCU Focus TV.
So you are now aiming to become a lawyer? Professor, you get them right.
Make sure you read.
Yeah, Tata.
You made him nothing but a nightmare to the family. I'm good for nothing. Just like you.
Margaret, have you no manners? Have you no respect for men?
Watch your tongue, young boy. I will discipline you.
Sure. If her family cannot solve it, who do you think will help?
Matiya wakasajja kano kanywedde ssente mmeka?
Are you tired of living a mundane life and searching for a way to unleash your full potential? The answer to your problems has arrived. The Magic of Successful Living by Kwesiga Emmanuel is here to change your life. This book is a comprehensive guide to help you achieve your goals and dreams. It provides practical tips and techniques to overcome life's challenges and create a successful life. Whether you're an entrepreneur, student, or anyone looking for a better life, the Magic of Successful Living will help you achieve your dreams. Join us on the 12th of March 2023 at the Sarina Hotel for the launch of the Magic of Successful Living. Be the first to get your hands on a copy of this life-changing book and see the impact it will have on your life. Don't miss out on the opportunity to unlock your full potential. Get your copy of The Magic of Successful Living, available on the 12th of March 2023 at Kampala Sarina Hotel. For booking and more inquiries, call or send a WhatsApp message on 0705611739 or on 0775004883. See you there.
You are watching UCU Focus TV.
Welcome back from that quick commercial break. We have a new guest in studio, and yes, she is the captain of the volleyball side, the women's volleyball side for Uganda Christian University. They have been on a tremendous run, and I mean a smoking hot run. They have won their last 7 games. in the National Volleyball League, that is the Serie B. Naiva Evers, well, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
Could you please be able to tell the guests, the viewers, a little bit about yourself before we could dive more into volleyball?
I'm Naiva Evers, a student at Uganda Christian University, and of course the volleyball captain, the ladies team. I'm a student in my third year pursuing my bachelor's degree in education.
Thank you. Well, the volleyball side have been on a roll, as I've mentioned. The previous weekend, they were able to defeat Nemo Stars, Thunder, UPDF, and Sever without breaking a sweat. I mean, they defeated them in straight sets. Possibly the only team that was able to take a set away from them was Nemo Stars. And yeah, that has been fantastic because the team has been on a roll and they are second currently in the Serie B, hoping to be able to gain promotion to the Serie A, because last season wasn't quite as planned as they could have gone. They got relegation, but it seems they have bounced back. What do you think has been the cause for this spark and this hot run? Because it seems that you are the hottest team in the league as I speak.
Oh yes, we seem to be right now because of the energy the ladies are putting in and the efforts. The reason why things didn't happen the way they were expected to be in the previous season, of course, that led to the relegation was that with the COVID era, very many players graduated and left the team. And so it took a lot for the sports department to bring other players and then put them together. And then, you know, making the first six was also a problem. But I mean, they had to fight it through. And after they had been relegated, during that time, it also created room for the team to get together, and then they get to understand each other, and then now here we are.
So do you think chemistry has been a big part of why you're performing the way you are right now? Is the team in good spirits? As you know, with winning, the team is always in good morale. Do you think the chemistry built over that period of time when you are not doing so well has probably come to now to its fruition, that you've been able to be together for a long period of time, now you're able to perform on a consistent basis?
Yes, so much, because as UCU Dove's team, the ladies, even the men too, it has always won because of the togetherness of the team. It's what always brings us to win, because we are always more of a team, more of a family than just anything. So it really has a lot to do with our winning. Yeah, so last December, I was covering the University East African Games at Indeji, and I noticed that there wasn't a category for volleyball women in participating in the competition. How did that make you feel as the captain of UCU that gets to participate in these competitions, and probably what would your message be to the organizers next time when the games head to Kenya, to be able to include the volleyball women's side of volleyball? It was a little bit of a shock, because we didn't know, we actually didn't expect that to happen until the last day, where we were told that actually the teams had been scrapped off. And somehow it bothered us so much, because we had been training for the whole month and we expected the best, and we were like so ready to win, because we had everything it took, I mean, for the competition. So yes, it brought us down, but we still felt like we have more to fight for, and still we had other teams to cheer up, especially the men. And we are lucky that the volleyball men also made it home, so it also gave us more energy. So, and to the organizers, we hope for the best next time. I mean, it doesn't have to be the way it was previously, because that was so hearty.
Yeah, definitely. Just a quick one. You know, the essence of Sports Focus is to engage more UCU followers to be able to follow their sports teams, because in a way we're trying to change the sports culture in universities all around the country to be able to look more into sports. So as someone that is watching this show for the first time and has gotten to know you for the first time, what can you tell them that the UCU women's side in terms of volleyball offers them to be able to support you? What unique traits do you possess as a team that can make someone fall in love with the team and go watch more games?
I think we, as a team, we have we have classmates, and we have people who love the game, though they don't get the opportunity to, you know, get involved. But I think it's much better and it's more fun when you get to watch it live, when you see your friends do what you can't do, and when you get to support them. I mean, you give them the energy that they didn't have, knowing that, you know, my classmates are going to be around and watch me play. It gives them the confidence too, because sometimes, you know, for the women, small things tend to drive them off the game, and then they, because referring to the previous game, we had challenges with UPDF where very many people make noise, and I mean, you freak out and then you can't throw words to the opponents. You just have to act calm. So people coming and joining us and watching the games and supporting us, it would give us more energy and the vibe to even play harder, especially the fact that we are heading for harder games. So we would really need people to come and support us, not even just to support us, but also join the team, because it would really put a very good show. So is promotion your main focus as the team this season, as the games keep on going? Is that something you're looking at in the hindsight, or you're planning on taking this game by game as you try to win as many games as possible and keep the winning streak, you know, up? Yes, we do. We really need, for the win. We were treated so bad, I must say, when leaving the Serie A and then moving to Serie B, it was so hurting, because as a university, I don't think that had ever happened to that, specifically that game. So right now we are working as hard as we can to also be promoted and also to win as many games as possible, so that we emerge the first as we go to the Serie A. So you're in your third year. Yes. You're in your third year, as you've told the viewers. Are there plans of probably playing the game even after you're done? Because we all know of the policy that UCU does pertain to its student athletes. Are there plans of you probably playing the game even after you're done with school? Yes, there will be. There are high chances of me playing the game, because who knows what God has for us, but I would really wish to play the game even after. Okay, just a personal question. What was it that got you interested in this particular game? Because it is a game that is not as popular as the perennial games in the country, but it is a very good sport to watch. I commented on one of the games during the games, and it was fantastic, fantastic viewership. What was it that made you get interested in a sport like this and not other games that, you know, are on offer? Growing up, it's I grew up in Imbara, and it's by that time when I joined my senior one, it was one of the games that were on a hype. So we already spotted so many ladies play and so many teams, including St. Mary's, because I first learned it at St. Mary's Vocational School. So I got so excited, and I was so lucky that the sports teacher was at the same time the coach, and he helped me get onto the team. And from then I realized there were so many offers that I was getting that I didn't even expect to have. Among them was a scholarship which I got starting from senior one, and I'm so happy and proud to say it's been those scholarships that have kept me going. And so there's so many things attached to the game itself. You get to get exposed, and then you have friends, and then even your parents are so happy, because somehow there is that burden of school fees that you offload them. That also had to keep me moving and playing the game. It's fantastic to know that this sport has actually given you a chance to get the education that we all do need, and probably it is something that most kids out there should be able to do. I mean, take part in sports, as she has mentioned. It helps you not just physically, but as well in terms of getting the right education. So are there any games this weekend, Evers, that you'd like to tell the viewers to go to, you know? Are there any games you have on this weekend? No. Speaking of, we are actually not having any games this weekend, but we are going to support the men, because they have a very tough game which they have to win in order to qualify for the playoffs. So we are on to supporting the so where is the location? You could tell us. And you know, it's in Old Kampala actually, because that's where Serie A games are being played. So that's where we shall be heading then. All right. Thank you, Evers, for joining me on the show. You've heard from the captain of the hottest team in UC right now. They are on a 7-game winning streak, and hopefully when they do resume their games, they can be able to keep that going as they try and aim promotion to Serie A.
But not forgetting, you could also follow the volleyball men's game that will be at Old Kampala Arena this weekend. Times will be communicated, so keep it locked in as we do go for the commercial break.
You are watching UCU Focus TV.
So you are now aiming to become a lawyer. Professor, you get them right.
Make sure you read. Umuzanyo kuveeko.
Ye tata.
You've made him nothing but a nightmare to the family. I'm good for nothing. Just like you.
Margaret, have you no manners? Have you no respect for men?
Watch your tongue, young boy. I will discipline you.
Sure. If our family cannot stop you, who do you think will that?
Matiya wakasajja kano kanywedde ssente mmeka?
You are watching UCU Focus TV.
Welcome back from that quick commercial break yet again as we bring you more sporting action from around the university and definitely around the world. So just recent updates in terms of what has been going on at UCU. Krama Wamala, who was a shooting point guard for the last 3 seasons for the UCU Cannons, has joined the UPDF Tomahawks. He averaged 4.8 points per game in 16 games played last season. He mainly had a role as a backup to our shooting guard that is Jerry Kayanga. And good luck to Krama Wamala. He did graduate in May 2022. That was able to allow him to be able to progress his career further down the road. In other news, the UCU Lady Cardinals were able to return to first team action this week in the FUFA Women's Super League. Unfortunately, they lost to a goal to nil by Kawempe Muslim. It was an away game, very tricky game. But good news for the side as Shadia Nansha, who is the captain and long-time stalwart in the team, was able to return to action after a long period out due to injuries caused due to some niggling knee injuries. FUFA president Mr. Magogo Moses also claimed that the federation was able to support her in terms of rehabilitation and in the surgery, and that is kudos to them and the work that they are trying to do in order to lengthen player careers in the association and in the leagues that are going on in Uganda. So, ladies and gentlemen, as pre-advertised, I would like to talk about the main story of the week, and that is from all the way in Europe. That's all the way from European football, where we get to see the 6-time English Premier League champions, that is Manchester City, a team that I follow personally, was charged with more than 100 counts in terms of financial breaches in terms of the Premier League handbook. Well, this same Man City side had just beaten UEFA at the Court Arbitration for Sport, that is CAS, in 2020 because of financial. Still, it comes to the side of financial player rules being broken, and yet this is another storm, quite possibly, according to journalist Miguel Delini, the biggest scandal in Premier League history, because if Man City are found guilty of these charges, which are more than 100, then there are very many serious implications that may befall the team. There is points deduction, as recently saw with Juventus in Italy. There is relegation from the league. I mean, they're defending champions and 6-time Premier League champions. This is something that has been unprecedented before. Then there is also, there are words coming in from everyone. It seems there is so much negativity that is surrounding the Premier League side. CEO Ferran Soriano claimed that Manchester City, as a club, had not actually received information prior to these charges being imposed on them on Monday, and got to know about them happening during during some certain media outlets publishing it before the club had received emails. So you could also take it back to the timing of these charges being implicated on them. Look at the white paper that is going to be, that has actually been pushed back for several couple of weeks by the UK government, that is going to have a regulation on football authorities, as we have seen clubs like Bury FC, we have seen dying out, we have seen clubs like Derby County going into administration in recent seasons. So this is a fresh new spotlight on the Premier League, and then you could have the timing of this, as officials from the club say, the timing of this was probably a political move that was meant to blame or point the finger at this club. Khaldun Al-Mubarak and sources from the Manchester City camp say that they are quite relaxed in order of how they are going to clear their name in front of the Premier League, and they have hired lawyer that is Lord. They have hired Lord, they have hired Lord Panic from Blackstone Chambers, who they recently hired during their appeal against UEFA. And this lawyer is actually paid about £5,000 an hour, which can rise to $800,000 a week. That is close to trial. And he has been able to succeed. He's a lawyer with a very strong resume. He actually stopped Brexit not once but twice from happening before it eventually did. He was also the same person that successfully had Man City's appeal overturned that court for arbitration for sport that discussed a few years ago, and he is back in the picture looking to clear Manchester City's name. Well, this controversy regarding City all started back in 2015, where a hacker named Mario Pinto was able to release documents regarding, about 70 million documents and 3.4 terabytes of data regarding leaked emails that could have shown that Manchester City might have inflated prices in terms of sponsorships, in terms of commercial deals, and gotten money from their Arab-backed state. Just to clarify a little bit of the charges, like charge E34 during the 2012-11 season, that is from the Premier League handbook, it says that, and this runs up to the 17-18 season. So just before I dive into, you know that during the UEFA period of time, the court verdict said that these charges were not time-bound in terms of the time had actually passed. But according to Premier League rules, they do not have rules where the charges are based on time. So this has been a 9-year period where the charges have been implicated and a 4-year investigation has been going on. Some of the charges, they have like charges E3 and 4. If you go to the Premier League handbook, says that by first match, every team should have submitted to the board a copy of its accounts it considers appropriate from the directors, an appropriator's copy, an auditor's copy, I beg your pardon. So from season 11-12 to season 7-18, the Premier League says that Manchester City did not actually want to do this or did not particularly fulfill their task as a Premier League club was supposed to do. But the club says that they are ready to be able to fight these charges and have done everything by the book. Pep Guardiola, their head coach, recently as Friday, the press conference before their Spurs game, said that he will not forget about 8 or 9 Premier League teams that wrote to the Premier League when they are just being charged by UEFA to have them expelled from the league. So you can find that this is a war that Manchester City is going to fight with the Premier League, and this has serious implications in where the future of European football is going, as Manchester City have states like United Arab Emirates that actually funds them, and actually China as well with the Silver Lake City Group that owns a bit of stake in Manchester City. So this is a war, or this is something that is not going to die out pretty soon, and there's going to be a lot of news coming out from the club, from both parties, and the Premier League as well have questions to answer as in terms of the white paper eventually coming out. Just head on to another clause. There is clause E11 that suggests each club by 31st March should have submitted a future financial projection comprising projected profits and losses, accounts, cash flow, balance sheets, and relevant notes explaining from the accounting reference of the Premier League clubs. The Premier League says this has not been followed. You could look at Article T20 as well, or T13, where they say Manchester City breached this in 15-16, where they signed players under age of 17, and there's a rule that states that they should not be actually awarded official contracts, but must be considered as academy players. So there are so many stories that are coming up, and the club says that the Premier League is trying to smear a bad PR campaign on them, sources in the camp say that they are relaxed and quite happy that their name is going to be cleared once and for all. Definitely more and more information is coming here. As I come to the end of the Sports Focus, you could always subscribe to our YouTube channels as we try and hit that glorious 1K. Follow us on our Twitter platforms at UCU Focus TV, as well as at Sports Focus. Don't forget the Sports Focus Extra Show, as we get to highlight in depth of the UCU athletes and their lives and how they go on, because we are trying as a platform to change university sports culture in Uganda. I remain Ian Asabo, your host. Thank you for tuning in, and Godspeed.
You are watching